And I'm live. Hello, this is Jupiter from Manlius, New York. I am Fifth Planet Keyforge, aka just Jupiter. But I have with me today two lovely ladies who are going to help me stream this wildcard week matchup between Zaramis and George. And basically, they both have inside scoops on it, kind of like last night when we did the UAP versus AVR. We had me and Brobnar. So we brought in Muffins and Karen B. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
I'm excited to hear you guys talk about your guys. I think it just makes it more personal and it makes it more fun when both sides are cheering for the other. So, like with that said, what we're gonna do is we're going to get these guys or we're going to get these ladies into the discussion about the deck lists, and then I am going to get the guys and get their bans and their predictions and stuff, and we're going to see if the girls can figure out what would be the bans and what the first round decks would be. As I fight with my cat not to knock over all my Keyforge cards, because he really wants to be on stream. Idiot. but Angus is becoming like a celebrity cat. I guess he wants to take over for Grumpy, but I don't know. But with that said, let's move over to the screens, and I will leave you ladies to it. Let me make this a little bit bigger. When you guys are ready to flip over to the other set of three, let me know, and I will send you over.
Sure. Actually, can you... Actually, I'm good now. Okay, sorry, that was very blurry for me for a second. Yeah, so I guess I'll start with these. These are, this is the triad that Zaramis brought. So I'll just go kind of left to right here. Start with Gazakri, the Witch of the Green. This is a really, really interesting deck for me. It's low on creature control, but it pretty much does everything else for you. It has a really nice kind of amber control while setting up a board that's just really sturdy, right? So we have like triple Brutodon. We've got a Karkar, a Star Alliance line that wants to kind of do things. And basically you're going to be able to City State Interest and Imperial Forge with this deck for essentially a free key. Now the cool thing is that the deck has a built-in backup plan, so you set up this awesome Saurian and Star Alliance board. If they can't dismantle that, they're dead. If they do, you're sitting there with the Untamed in your hand with Double Harmonia and the Flaxia, and like multiple ways to kind of like you can actually kill that Flaxia and then regrowth it, and then use it again and key charge out. So essentially you've got a key cheat if your board gets dismantled, you've got a key cheat if your board stays together, and just a very, 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 very sturdy board that just has to be dealt with. So moving to He That Dreams About Car Keys, this is Simon's, like, this is one of his personal, like, signature decks. And before we started the call, I kind of called it the, honestly, one of the scariest decks in Keyforge. And the reason that it is, it's so many creatures. You're looking at 25 creatures, which essentially means that you better have brought, like, 3 board wipes against it. It's very sneaky strong, because, again, the Saurian and Star Alliance are going to set up a board. But as you're playing the Dino Aliens, and I believe the Dino Beast does it too in Untamed, but basically your mutants have fight abilities that sort your cards. So you can set up a Fertility Chant Key Frog play that you're actually killing on the same turn with that Dino Beast ability, right? The double Ghost Hawk is going to let you get use out of the rest of the lines, so that kind of line formation is very, very important. And of course, you have an Anthony for a bit of a delay play. The deck has, on DOK, it's 27 expected Amber, but the expected Amber burst is absolutely disgusting when it goes off. You just have to answer that board, or it will be generating like 10 Amber a turn. Really, really threatening deck. Has done great in 75 SAS Cap events, but has been doing really, really nicely in KFPL, which has been really kind of surprising and nice to see for us.
Yeah, it's always a dream when you get to play a SAS Cap deck in Archon, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, the deck is just underrated. It's faster than it looks. It's burstier than it looks. We really, really love it at Swindle. And moving finally to our AOA, which is actually my deck, NF Quinn, Cantabile di Opulenza, which means the Accountant of Opulence, which is just a great Keyforge name. Obviously, you're going to look at that Mars first, right? You've got the Martian Generosity with double Proliferator, double Mars first, which means when you hit your gen, it's going to be stuck right back in your archive, and you're going to be hitting gen next turn. The idea in a perfect game is to stick your whole deck in your hand, and then you're sitting there with a huge burst in shadows along with a miasma. You've got a resonator under taunt with the dominator, keeping their cost at 10. If they come up near a check, you can just doorstep them and Martyr's End the whole thing, and then start over the cycle again, drawing your whole deck on a Martian Generosity after forging a key. So it becomes this very much like a death cycle. It's a sneaky control deck, actually, and it is absolutely one of my favorite AOAs. So I'll let you show the other 3 decks here that are George's.
Do you have any predictions for which of these 3 decks will get banned?
So we know.
Maybe you should let Muffins choose because you probably have more inside information.
Oh, sure.
Maybe we could go through the decks and then talk about it afterwards because I've got the results from the previous matchup. So
okay,
sure.
We can discuss whether that's the right move again. And
okay, dokie. So we are moving to Charlatan, Tenbrus, and Razormare. Take it away.
Okay. So, 2 of these decks are mine, so I know them reasonably well. Turbo Smack's Dav deck's got 10 mutants, so it's reasonably quick once it gets its set up. There is 2 Volt's Blessings to go in there. There's a huge amount of burst. Not an enormous amount of control. You've got Spoils and you've got a Ludo, but aside from that, it's a bit awkward. There's not a lot of borrow targets from what I can remember, and the Heist Knight tends to be pretty good. It does have a capture icon on it anyway, but there's a lot of higher priority targets, so the Emberspine Mongrel, Cephalois, the Fandangle. So the Thieves just kind of sit there, so you can get a decent steal off of Heist Knight, which is very good. It's a fun deck overall. Really like it. Next is Tenebris. So the Logos in this is 36 SAS, just that one house, which is kind of insane. So your kind of end game here is to set up a situation where you have archived a lot of the Dis and Star Alliance, and you're just able to play down 1 E-die a turn to keep them off key while generating a load of amber by yourself. Got 10 pips on amber, 10 pips on cards even, and you can get a decent burst from those entropic swells, which is also spot board control, which is very nice. Probably key to this deck is going to be those 2 red alerts into Zaramis' board heavy Dubsy and MM decks. That's a good one. Next, Razormare. So it's Kota control, it's big chunky boards. You've got Gateway, 2 Tendrils of Pain, 2 Poison Waves, massive amount of board control in that deck. As well as that, there's a large amount of amber control. And just a load of pips, so 2 Ghostly Hands. That is, 8-9 pips in the shadows alone. So reasonably scary. And it has been banned most out of George's lineup in the entire KFPL. I think Turbo Smack got banned once, and Razormare got banned 5 times. So George hasn't even played it more than once, I think. But yeah, the previous match, it was on the first week of KFPL, so long ago. So the ban that George originally made was Quinn, which I think was the right move, given that it's the only deck out of the lineup that has artifact control.
Yeah, I agree with the idea of Quinn. When I was looking at these 3 decks myself, I was thinking it was a toss up for me between Keys and Quinn, and I think that with the 3 decks that he's bringing to the table, I think that I don't know though. I don't know because Quinn has a cycle to it, but I think that it could be answered. Like Mare might answer it well and stuff like that, but like without practice, I don't really know. But like I still fear the car keys deck because of the mutants, right? Like in the mutant swing that it has. So I don't
Sure.
know, but the Quinn cycle I think is easier. It might be easier to deal with, even though it's scarier. If it gets moving, like you just lose, like you're not going to catch up. But with the other, like with keys, like it's I don't know, it's kind of 50-50 for me here. Like I don't know which way I would go here. But I am scared of Martian generosity, so I probably would end up still staying with Quinn. That's my thought.
Yeah, I think in terms of the deck, you might, if you, the way that I think about it is if you're playing against car keys, you know that although car keys might get you, you're almost guaranteed an even matchup across the decks.
Yeah.
So if I were playing against it, I'd rather play card keys just because you're not giving yourself the chance of the kind of auto loss that you were talking about if
Yeah.
the hands happen to be great.
Yeah, that's kind of where I always I probably lean towards Quinn still, and plus the worst deck that he could possibly ban I think is Charlatan, and Charlatan is the best matchup against Keys as well. So like
Sure.
I think that's something to consider, and then
So
like
why do you think that's interesting? I mean, it's a nice segue for me talking about what Zaramis could possibly ban. Why do
yeah.
you think that MM is the worst?
The match. No, I'm just saying that the charlatan is it's the one that matches up the best against car keys. That's the only caveat.
I see, I see. Yeah,
I don't
no,
think
because I'm,
I don't think it's
yeah,
I do not think that is the ban by any means, but I think that is the one that he would least likely ban. But the Dark Amber Vault could be scary to some people. So
well, I mean, that's actually why I'm asking. Why is it the one you think that is least likely to be banned?
because I think in Razormare you have like a ton of value. Like it's just a great deck. I think Razormare is not something that anybody would want to play against. And with Restrict Aguntis, only one of the decks would possibly be able to deal with the Restrict Aguntis well, and that would be Cars, like because of the pips, the damage pips and stuff like that. And then in Tentabris, there's just so many tools. Like that deck has like a lot of play, and the speed of the deck and the taxing of the decks it would be overwhelming. So and I think both of those
Sure.
decks are nightmares. And that is like
Yeah.
I mean when you're talking about this level of card like decks, you're always talking about like things that are all just which one is like the least worst, and like when you say worst, it's still probably better than most of the things you're playing against. So that's my thought.
No, I agree. I mean, I think that there's actually a rather strong argument for banning the mass mutation, and essentially it does have to do with the fact that you're getting equivalent amber values to Razormare, but you're getting it at a potential DAV speed, and punctuated equilibrium can certainly be a problem for a lot of our decks. I think Simon is a very methodical player who likes to hold his hands and know what his hand is. Like I said, like when he's playing Gaza Creed, he wants to build the board and sit with that untamed in hand and come in with that rush. I think that disruption is something that, as a player, he very much dislikes. But also, something we haven't talked about in Charlatan is the World of Returning, which is absolutely catastrophic against a deck like Card Keys, which just wants to code itself in Amber.
Yeah, he does have two Saurian houses too, so that's a big point too.
Yeah, so I think that could create matchups across bad matchups across multiple decks that we really don't want to see that World of Returning. That being said, I think the Coda would totally be a valid ban. It's weird. I think that Simon bans the MM. I think that I would ban the Coda.
All right.
In the first matchup, Simon actually banned Razormare.
I know.
And you know, I think that is the right move. I think that's got the best matchup into Simon's MM and WC decks, just based on the board control alone.
Sure. Yeah, I don't totally disagree. I don't know. I feel that there's a certain particular bad matchup cards that you're seeing in that mass mutation. So my gut says that will be banned. I totally agree that logically, at least, it looks like that Coda is something that you want to just get rid of.
All right, so I do have the bans in, and the bans will be for this set, the Quinn, Keys, and Green set. The ban will be NF Quinn. So you do not get to
Aw.
see do
Yeah.
not get to see your baby play. It makes sense. Martial Generosity is very degenerate, and if it goes off, it goes off. There's nothing you could do to stop it. So I think getting a chance to play against things makes sense. Like that one makes sense to me. Now for these three, we had some. I don't know where you ladies lied. I heard a lot of. All these decks are great, but where do you think the bans lie? I think I heard Muffins go with Razor, but
Yeah,
I think he. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Given that Zaramis won the first matchup 2-0 and banned Razormare, I would expect him to ban it again.
I think he bans the MM.
And his choice was Tenebris. Which is
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
He decided he didn't want to deal with 3 eddies, which makes sense. The taxing, I think, is a very, very dangerous thing for him, especially like if he thinks he's going to have to play Gazakreed, right? Because that's a double
Sure.
key cheat, and the key cheat with low raw amber. So I think I that's the reason he would go with Tenebris. But I think any of the 3 of them could have been banned. So, but this is a very interesting choice. But there you have it. So the guys are lining up to play. I know they are on the table. Let's see if they got the link. And
shows what I know, right?
We'll see what we get. I mean, this is like I said. This was one of the hardest ones for me to figure out. That's why I didn't want to say nothing initially. Then you pulled me in. But dope. All right, so the game link is here already, and we are moving into the game. All right. Yep. They went with the other one, I think. Yep. Okay. So are you guys gonna pop into the actual game, or are you guys gonna just go screen share?
I'm trying to. I'm just trying.
I'll
to
watch
find
on your screen.
All right. So I am here. They are here. They are ready. I see that it is an MM deck from Zaramis that is going first versus a non-MM deck from George. So it should be Razormare versus Karkis. Was it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I'm guessing this is. All based on TCO not wanting to like hide their enchantment flags. All right, so I think we're good to go.
I can't wait for Dark Tidings so that we at least have 2 sets that it could be from.
Right. I have a box coming from China that I bought, and then I have 6 boxes coming whenever they decide to get here.
I am opening 6 decks today. I am so excited.
I'm picking up my display tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm gonna the owner of my FLGS, his name's Andy. He's absolutely lovely. He doesn't tend to trust the post, so he hand delivered all of our MM pre-orders. So tomorrow I'm gonna deliver all of everyone's Dark Tidings pre-orders, so I can go see everyone and say hi from a distance.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Zaramis gets to go first.
All right. We are set. Good luck. Enjoy the commentary from the ladies. I am going to mute out so that there's not too many voices.
Jupiter, can you do me a favor though? Can you leave the password in our chat here, or let me know what it is? I'm just not getting a clear enough picture.
Sure.
I've put it in the chat.
Yeah, it's
Thank
in
you.
the chat already. Yeah. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
So that's a massive first turn from George. 5-card this hand. Locks Saurian. There's Lumalu on the board, so the Ristring Gunter should be fairly easy to get rid of. Oh my god! A 6-card this starting hand! It's absolutely disgusting.
It's fine, whatever. Immediate Star Alliance response, which is just a little unlucky for George, honestly, because that could have been a straight lock on turn 1 there.
Oh yeah, it's always worth a go. It very rarely sticks on Razormare, but it tends to be a kind of stalling tactic rather than.
Oh sure.
Game.
I just mean if you picked right, you take Zaramis out of Saurian, and the thing about Karkis one of the big weaknesses of it is that you just have that axiom.
So, big question: did George shuffle his deck? 9
Technically,
discards.
technically speaking, no, he did not.
True. Oh, but this is an absolutely brutal start.
It really is.
This makes me question if this is not the real Gas Max.
So we have everyone's favorite card come into play, Saurian Egg. Big hype there.
You know, it's a surprisingly like sneaky little powerful card in this deck to kind of enable some plays through the discards.
Oh yeah.
I've seen Zaramis work some magic with this deck in terms of the Saurian Egg, so I'm always surprised. This is not an ideal start for us though.
No, it really isn't.
I'm just thinking about ways, like outs that we kind of have to this kind of start at this juncture, and obviously hitting that axiom would just be really huge to just negate some of those.
Yeah, with the toxin set up and the snudge, it's very oppressive right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know any other way out of it other than drawing it, because you're going to be check for second key here. Karki's Amber Control is not great, so it's really got to be kind of now on the board response. Got a little bit of sorting here. Again, the mutants can sort and the Lay of the Land can sort. So hopefully, maybe he can draw into something useful here.
Okay, Saurian Egg is used and unfortunately doesn't hit anything.
Yep.
But we'll be able to get some value
Oh, yeah.
out of that blue.
Use my total miscall there. Sorry, I thought he was in a Star Alliance for a second, trying to fish. But obviously we are not
Okay,
there.
so we've got a few beasts out. Get some bonus amber with Lumalu. I guess he's got a race.
I mean, what else can you do if you don't have the board clear?
Yeah. But when you're 2 keys down, it's very difficult.
Yeah, no, this essentially looks like game over to me, unfortunately. I hate to say it against, in KFPL with our own deck, but the only thing I can think is you would get this key to stick. I mean, if George can check, you essentially can't.
So I think all of the pips that he had in this, I think there's another controlled weak knocking around, but
Yeah.
if he were to reap, he wouldn't hit check.
So then your response, a win condition for car keys could be some kind of play in whatever house where you end up checking. And then the key cheat out, which actually is possible. To my knowledge, yeah, we haven't lost any of the kind of vital pieces for doing the key cheat, so technically speaking, you could actually outrace still at this juncture.
Sometimes when you have a house like this where you're loaded with one house and you keep going back to it, you are like handicapping your draw. So like if there's a way that he could break the disc board, like you say, like the axiom, or find a way to fight off some of these things and get it down and stuff, he could find a small advantage in the tide from the cards that he's drawing from trying to play things. But I think it still looks pretty grim.
Yeah, it looks pretty grim, but the only out I can really think of is some check that sticks here and then you manage to key cheat. There's the axiom. But there's so many pips left in that deck. There's no way George isn't checking here. Stuns the Saurian board.
Double stuns it, triple stuns
Triple
it.
stuns it.
I love Lady Max. Lady
So
Max is so
stunned.
good.
Stun.
And then he plays a Jihu.
We've got the Untamed call, and I don't recall that there's the key cheat play that I was referring to.
Very nice.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, if you had gotten some kind of, you're going to have 2 keys, but their play was there for the 3rd key if we had found some magic way to posture into that position.
Yeah, that was a very valiant attempt there. By
Yeah.
to get back into the game, and it happens sometimes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, it was a 6-card disc draw. It's just pretty hard to overcome that. Not just because of
the Control the Weak and the Resting Guntus in the opening hand.
Yeah, but I mean, not just because of the cards themselves, but it really sets up your draw to be more efficient for the rest of the game when you're playing a slow deck like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because then you're less likely to draw discs, so then you'll just be drawing Sanctum Shadows.
Harlan wants to say hi, everybody. Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Good words.
I'm just looking at the discard before I leave this game, and it's 9 discards. It's really something.
He just blew past him. Like sometimes that happens. We saw that happen last season in the quarterfinals, where like basically Fierza just got like run over. Like like it was crazy. Like the player he played against played like literally like 6 or 7 discards with like 3 sins or something. It was absolutely nuts. But yeah, like maybe it was the semis, yeah. But he just got run over by the sins, and like there was just nothing he could do. So it's just what happened.
Yeah.
Harlan wants the phone, but you just finished it.
Harlan wants the phone, please.
So Zaramis is going to stick with car keys, while George is forced to move on to Turbo Snack.
Phone, please.
That's pretty interesting to me, but we'll see what happens. So we'll have the ladies take this one away, and we'll switch it over, and there you go, and have fun.
Cool. So let's hope for a little bit more of a sane card draws here.
Yeah. So immediate mulligan for George. Imagine he's trying to get that turn on Dav. He has managed it several times.
It never hurts. Turn 1 Faust, who can punch himself in the face.
Yeah.
Nothing sadder than damage enhancements with an empty board.
Oh, Skilla and Charybdis.
Yeah, this is a great Saurian opening hand, especially with the double Ghost Hawk. This becomes very degenerate very fast if you can't get it off board. But we've got 2 tempting offers, so, you know. Fair trade for 2 Amber, maybe. Going Star Alliance board with the capture. Scout P is scouting. Hold up. Discards the Vault's Blessing.
Yeah, so probably don't want to play it in this matchup, right? It's both going to benefit both players.
Yeah, it depends whether you're boarding and where your mutants are. I was thinking he might have a chance with the Star Alliance hand to just kind of be up on mutants in order to cash it in the following turn. But there must be something... Yeah, I don't mind the discard. You see what I'm saying? Like, you get an alien out there, maybe you cash it in for 1, but he's probably not sitting there with a Untamed hand then, basically. World of Returning.
Yep, it's out the way now.
Yes. No, that is one of the things we talked about, right? Like, that World of Returning is such a problematic card in the matchup. We have the Punctuated Equilibrium. Oh, and the dab comes down.
Out. So, things that got punked, both Charybdis and Skilla, and Anthony as well. And Grisk. The only Grisk.
Right.
Whereas things that got punked was Vault's Blessing and Monument to Faust for George, so not a huge loss there. Now got these disgusting big mutants out. High power Cephaloistan Fandangle.
Yeah, the 5-power Fandangle is a real problem. Like, it can be fought off. Can be fought off in 2 houses here, which is probably what has to happen. We don't really care about the Cephaloist because there's no stealing. You know, but you're just gonna have to throw some creatures into it. Okay, and the Subdue. Survey discards Ghost Hawk. Interesting. He's kind of sorting out his Untamed, which is, like you said, there's multiple reasons why that would be favorable. But I don't mind the turn here. Checking at 9, tossing it back. The Dav is down though, and we do not have an answer to that, so it's rather unfortunate that comes off the PE there.
Right, so going into Saurian. I think there's like one mutant in the Saurian, so it's not preferable.
Sure. But the spreading of the amber is nice. It's a taxing of the key to forge at 9. Loss of 3 amber, I mean, it's half a key. It's always so big. Just attacks 1 key against car keys here. Because if you're sitting at 3 and cost is 6, like, car keys is generally going to be able to check. But you're setting up a situation where now the Faust becomes a burn the witch.
Yeah,
it
can be removed in 2 houses, as you say, but
oh no, sure.
yeah.
But you have to kill it now, so that's going to make checking harder. Untamed in order to just do a little bit of board threat.
Yeah, get that nice and set up. Resurgence to bring back probably Ghost Hawk and something else. Pile, actually.
Yeah, there's not a
Maybe
mutant in the pile unless I'm missing one. Yeah, so you're gonna. He might be sorting for later. He might take the Anthony. Is another possible call. Though the timing doesn't seem great because George is gonna forage here.
Yeah. Potentially bring back Charybdis.
Ghost Hawk.
Okay, Ghost Hawk.
Just take your reaps here. Yeah, piling all the amber onto the Faust just so you can knock it out later. You'll be checking hard next turn. The board threat is legitimate because the Key Frog must be answered at this point. If you're going to be able to kill the Faust, lower cost, and then ram the Frog into something.
Okay. So Shadow Sniff is on the board, so all mutants now have elusive.
Dark Fairy is a big kill there. Wow. And Dark Amber Vault.
Coming down.
Dark Amber Vault is just not okay. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's more powerful than if it was just the draw effect or the power effect, it would be still too good.
Yeah. just both, but like, you know, when you're staring down anything that can turn Mutant Cut Person to a good card is not okay.
Hey, it's the best card in the game. It's not fair.
3 damage enhancements and 3 power, but like, but in a Dav deck, you're sitting there like, oh man, a Mutant Cut Purse, this is awesome. Like, that's not that means Dav is a problem.
Yeah. So with all of those Shadows mutants being elusive as well, and they're not high priority targets because they're not really contributing anything.
Right.
It's setting up that Heist Knight. As I said before, it's got 5 triggers for the Heist Knight there. And it's going to be a massive source of control for George.
The punctuated hitting the Axiom is just so massive too, because, you know, like, we're looking at high caliber players here, obviously. Like, Simon knows that Heist Knight play is going to go off and that board has to be answered. But being elusive and the Axiom gone, what really are you supposed to do other than try to cycle your deck and get back to it before the Heist Knight goes off? You could leave your Amber sort of low and try to play this capturing game with your Concierge, the Octavias. But we're dealing with large unanswered boards, and out comes the Mongrel too, which is going to make Reaping even harder, which is so bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few ways to fight it off the board. They're all in Saurian, but there.
Yeah. But it's not that you can't kill it, it's just every little disruption that this deck is providing is making it harder and harder to do what Kharkiv's wants to do, which is Reap with its 25 creatures.
So, interesting decision here. George has gone for Revolt's Blessing.
Right.
I think that was a 2 amber gain for Simon.
Absolutely the right call.
But massive burst.
Yeah, no, you absolutely take that. Take that for yourself there with that kind of mutant board. Checking a 13 against a deck that doesn't have a lot of amber control. And you know that the Anthony has been discarded off of the punctuated. So So you don't have to worry about that Anthony Ludo thing going down. I think that's essentially an unanswerable burst, which is very similar to where we ended up last game. Simon can check, but like you said, we're going to hit that Heist Knight. I'm going to double check the discard for it. Nope, yeah. I mean, there's no way that George isn't sitting with it at this point if there's some kind of massive Amber Burst from Simon. So it's rather... looks rather bleak again for Team Swindle here.
At the end of
there is an egg on the board with the potential of an amazing egg play.
Yeah, you can never underestimate the egg.
Love to see it.
Oh man, really unfortunate on those punctuated equilibrium discards. It's really 2 hits, both the Axiom and the Anthony. To take the big Amber control play and the big board play.
Yeah,
that's feels rather unfortunate. But I was looking at the hand and I'm just like, I'm unsure if we have a response at this juncture after a punctuated hit that bad, which is why I had talked in the kind of pre-broadcast about banning this deck. We're just in such a tough position. Apparently, we're being talked to by Simon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
we are very aware. So Simon says, the small hope here is that he doesn't have Heist Knight left. There's no way that George isn't sitting on Heist Knight, but
I mean, there's a very slim chance that he isn't. Just based on 50-50 chance, I guess, of him holding it right now.
I feel like he has it because of the posturing that's been done here, right? Like, he feels okay giving those +2 Amber off of the Bolt's Blessing without trying to knock anything. And then he's sitting there making sure that his mutants are kind of intact. I mean, not mutants, that his thieves are intact as best he can.
Oh, so the egg did something!
Oh, it always does, yeah. Wild Spirit to Galataps. Problem, of course, is that the Amber Spine is just going to be taking all this Amber. You are going to be able to cheat your key here, though?
Yeah, I guess if you've got no Amber control left, you are just racing to forge in less than 1 turn, right? 2 keys in 1.5 turns. So it doesn't matter that he's giving George Amber with the Amber Spine Mongrel. Strategy.
Well,
but
in that case,
is the problem.
Well, I mean, okay, but in that case, you should reek with the Key Frog here. Yeah. I mean, instead of he had the Exalt ability to kill it. I guess. What did he kill with the Exalt ability?
He got rid of a thief. He killed the Red Penny.
Okay, yeah. So we forged the key with the frog and then check. Now Heist Knight is going to come down, or it's not going to come down.
Well, yeah, there needs to be some kind of control just to take Zaramis off check.
We've cycled deck now, which is a great thing. We might be able to potentially find some magic way to cheat our key, too. It's all of a sudden pretty tense if the Heist Knight isn't there. Shadow's Call. Not
he hasn't
something.
Got it.
Yeah, he hasn't got it.
Oro
Yeah.
has a capture pip on it? I thought it had a capture pip on it. Must be thinking of a different deck.
That's just going to be...
Yeah, he hasn't got anything.
Wow.
Zaramis gets there.
The check sticks.
Well played.
I thought for sure he had that Heist Knight.
Well, you got to play it out, right? Like, and
yeah, you do.
That's what you did, and he played to his outs, and he got there. So that's what you have to do sometimes. What a win! That was awesome.
Very, very gutsy to cheat that key and try to stick it at 6.
Yep. So we're at 1-1. It's going to be the theme all week long. We're going to Game 3, folks.
Game 3.
So Zaramis versus George, and this matchup is going to put this insane Dab deck again against a what's the deck he has left?
It's the Dub C deck with all the chunk.
Oh, the keys deck.
Yep.
Keys. That'd be interesting.
Man,
that would be
I did not think there was any way that was going our way.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I mean, that was a turnaround.
Zaramis has shown you why he's an amazing player. New to the scene, quote unquote, but everything I've ever seen Zaramis do has been calculated and amazing. So he is a wonderful player.
Oh yeah, no, I mean he has this knack. He's horrifying to play against, by the way. He has this knack for knowing what's in your hand, and he'll talk to you about what's in your hand. Like some kind of poker player. He's like, I know you're sitting there with blah 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 blah, and they are in your hand. Like he's always right.
Yeah.
And he's like, so I'm gonna do X Y Z, or like, he'll tell you what you should be doing as you're doing something else, and then punish you for it. It's
like
just a.
It's the same thing we have with Rodion. He's like that kind of player too, and like it's crazy. So.
Yeah, just a very like calculating player. He's always looking at odds. He's taught me a lot about kind of like hand shaping and just putting yourself in situations.
All right, well this game is flying, so you better keep up with it.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm just looking. So Simon had the first turn, plays out the one Saurian card. George on his next turn then only plays one card out, Cephalois.
Sure.
So that is weird.
It is an odd turn, and then we've got the gray coming down to get a Harmonia archived, which again you want to stick that stuff in your archives in case your board gets blown up. So the little bit of the backup strategy is already coming down here. The Axiom, I think that is a necessary answer despite the chains, but you might be setting up Zaramis to take board control again here. There is another Axiom in your deck though. Saurian turn. Let's go to Monaludo. Nothing
that's
fancy.
quite nice.
Yeah, just kind of some like really curious curious small turns from both of these players.
Yeah, it does seem as though they've both got terrible draw and they're just trying to get through what they can.
Right, yeah, they're trying to get themselves out of 2/2/2s.
Yeah.
This like especially like the Scudam on a Ludo is a very much I need to get this out of my hand kind of situation. Though we get another Saurian play here. And again, I think the idea is to just start getting hands that are in better places.
Yeah.
We fight the Bow Nithing to limit the Heist Knight. We have another Axiom. I'm surprised by the second play of the Axiom there, but do you have any commentary knowing the deck better as to why you would be so desperately clearing here?
He wants to get the dab. So I mean, any kind of board is a threat. I guess you don't want the Ludo out, and you don't want the Philosophaurus for the archiving. So it makes sense to get rid of them, and in the absence of any other answer, it makes sense just to grist them out and try to build something for yourself.
Sure, and plus you're getting the Fandangle under a taunt now. We've got a comment from Simon here, game of terrible draws, so
yes.
there is an acknowledgement. We do have a check from George, though, on the previous turn with the Vault Blessing and a Fandangle setup, so it's kind of like, I feel like you kind of just need to let him forge this key if you can't pop the Fandangle. It's one or the other.
So, both Vault's Blessings are now gone.
Yes.
So, that kind of limits George's birth potential in future.
Certainly do.
So I guess Zaramis can kind of take a breather and know that he's got time to kind of filter through and get the cards he needs.
Sure, yeah, you're right. Like, the burst potential is there, which is very... it's very nice for Simon, though. He knows that his draws are bad, but he's also in a position where both Axioms are gone. Both Vault's Blessings are done. We've got a misclick here to destroy Molfin and Fandangle. I'm assuming he wanted the shoulder id dead.
Yeah, that would make sense. And it's not something that would happen if this was being played in real life, so George lets him manual it and fix it.
Yeah. I mean, that's good etiquette. I don't see any reason to not. But yeah, a lot of the big threats are out early. Obviously, the DAV is still yet to come down, but we're looking 20 cards deep on the draw, so it could be anywhere. We've got a Morpheus, Under Taunt, and a Stealth Mode for good measure, sure. This is where Gaza Creek can start being a lot more threatening, though. Just a little bit at a time. Just keep building that board, and then before you know it, it's very hard to answer.
Is there a lot to trigger on the Morpheus?
I was just thinking about that, and I have not personally this deck much. One of the biggest double triggers that you want is the gray, but that's already gone. You do have a Flaxia, though, which you can trigger twice.
This is the Kirby the Wolves.
And you've got, yeah, you've got a Murmute. You got a Murmuk taking out, potentially using that to take out some of these thieves to keep the Heist Knight from going off. Here we see them pruned down with the Failing Strike. Here comes the Dav, though. 4-power Dark Fairy captures onto the auto. And the Punctuated. What do we have in the discards here?
Oh, Frayne and Kirby and the Flaxia and the Wolves. So all of those...
all of the things that we talked about.
Yes!
All of those great play abilities that we talked about. Yeah, the Kirby, the Flaxia. Especially if... yeah, Flaxia triggering twice would be very unfair. I gotta say it.
And George actually punked away the Heist Knight, so that's gone.
Okay.
Not something that Zaramis needs to worry about anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, all of the... Simon did a great job answering the thieves, so it's just not something that's going to go down here. Lost in the Woods cleaning up the board a little bit. I think at this point, both players are playing for deck cycle. I know George has a little bit more threat to check before we're able to deck cycle, but...
Yeah, he's got a lot of mutants and untames that he can play down. I think he's going to get through the rest of his deck very quickly.
Yeah, so, I mean, both players are really thinking, how can I position myself on third key at this point, I would imagine. Even though it seems really premature to say that. We take the Archive, so... The Harmonia that was stashed away. Okay, yeah, we're going to regrowth into Flaxia. Yeah. We might be able to cheat a key here if we can just get one little random amber. Camouflage. Key charge, there it is. And that is what is so threatening about this deck. It starts constructing its board that you must answer while cheating keys.
So, George goes and Saurian plays out some of his hand.
Uses the damage pips to take out the Jarda, which is under taunt. Nothing is safe under taunt against Mass Mutation. Tribute. Just to keep George off key here. The stall is super important. We're coding things in amber here.
Okay, so we've got the CSI, you've got the 6 Emperor.
Yeah. There it is. For another check here. Very least.
We've got the what the Screech Bomb guys are calling the Trick Semper play. Let's catch on. Let's find out.
Trick Semper. I like it. Yeah, so we have the Imperial Forge cashed in for the pip. That totally makes sense because you've pretty much limited the amount of amber that you're going to get on your stuff using the City State and the Tribute. But we do have a high check here. The Faust versus and the Octavia. It's going to make it so essentially if George doesn't want him to forge, he's not going to forge. But the check is really nice to kind of pressurize the situation and force some moves here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difficult decision here for George because he can't get rid of the... I'm sure he has a lot of Untamed Mutants he wants to play down. It's going to trigger Harmonia every time. He can't get rid of it. Exactly.
Unless, do you know the extent of, like, are there some damage pips lying around in Untamed?
Right, so the only other one is the Ghost Hawk. and I think the Ghost Hawk is Capture Pip. Let me have a look.
Sure. Yeah, so you can't really board here. It is, like you said, it's a rock and a hard place. We've got a Shadows Call. Get some stealing done. Discard.
Just gonna go for it.
Yeah, we discard a Brutodon. Again, this is setting up a situation where if the Harmonia cannot be killed, Simon's going to cash this in for a lot of Amber next turn.
Yeah, I guess the 2 tempting offers went really early. No.
Yeah,
they still got one.
Oh yeah, he does. Okay. Yeah, which it would at least, it's not as good as killing it, but at the same time, it would at least force an Untamed call to cash in on it, which is a big difference. I'm just slapping down any old creature here.
I guess he's trying to weigh it up now.
Yeah, because Tempting Offer is going to give... Yeah, it's going to give Simon the Amber, and... I mean, the key might already be happening no matter what you do. Yeah, so we have it used. Simon is going to forge second key. And, you know, an Untamed hand versus, full of a bunch of creatures would be wonderful right now.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what he has.
Is it just cycled?
Discard before he reshuffled.
Yeah. I mean, I highly doubt it at this juncture. But now George has not cycled yet, so the Heist Knight is not a potential issue yet. But if you...
Yeah, so Heist Knight isn't, but he does have Spoils and Grisk.
Sure.
And he's definitely... Oh no, he used both of the Grisk, so he's got Spoils.
Yeah, use both the Spoils. I mean, they added the Grisks early, which was something that I had kind of questioned. Obviously, these players know their decks better than I do looking at them the first time, but I really was like... taking the chains was something that I very much worried about when you're trying to deal with a deck that's trying to get board tempo on you this early. And then in addition, just kind of losing the ability to clear. But it looks like that Charlatan doesn't have a lot of ways to kind of stash anything away, right? Like it's very much a play your cards or discard your cards kind of deck for my approximation. Let me know if I'm wrong there, other than like a Heist Knight kind of thing.
Yeah, you just kind of want to cycle through as fast as you can.
Yeah, just kind of gain that board advantage off the DAV and just get to your good cards. We've got an Untamed Call. Harmonia cashes itself in, which is a nice trigger. Murmook, 4 damage, take out the Dark Fairy. Get cost up. Reap with Flaxia.
Got rid of the Faust.
And we have we get to see the Nepta Gigantica actually used here. Legendary maneuver by Simon. It's a big stun, too, honestly, because the ability to capture 2 with the Faust on board, kind of in combo, is so nice. Those cards just really play off each other great. World of Returning. For the Amber. We've got another turn where I wonder if the Harmonia is going to be unanswered again, which feels...
It will be.
It feels impossible that you wouldn't be able to have an answer for 2 turns, like knowing that every single creature you put down is more Amber for Simon. We've got an unstun of the Octavia preparing to do a little bit of Amber control, potentially.
And Punk.
And the Punk.
Okay, so what's gone this time? Morpheus Frame Grey. That is huge.
Yes and no. I mean, it just depends on how many creatures we got into, right? Like, I mean...
Creature hand that Simon had there.
It really was, yeah. It was the hand that you wanted. Oh, and now the Harmonia is gone with Via the Lost in the Woods. Yes, Via the Lost in the Woods. Cost is back down to 6 for George, and cost is at 9 for Simon.
Gonna make that.
And his Fandangle is online too. That's huge because like getting to 9, and if he makes a key at 6, he's right there to like just reap and be into Fandangle mode.
Yeah, no, yeah. We're essentially, I mean, we're dealing with a situation where Simon has to answer this with some sort of check.
Yeah, potentially he's drawn back into his Grisk. Would be pretty good right now.
Yeah, it doesn't help you as much as you would like, but it does get you out of that Fandangle situation.
It gets rid of the Faust as well, and that's
Oh, sure.
for a long time, so that would be a massive boon for the key cheats.
The question is, how psychologically hurt would George be if he lost twice like this, where he felt like he was
Top deck the punk.
Yeah, no, he did.
From the Dav. Wow.
Okay.
Oh, I see, because they're talking in voice. So.
Yeah.
George with the karma. See, we keep telling you he's one of the nicest Keyforgers players in the world, and here's why. This is the karma that he gets for it. He's figured last game he got pooped on. This game he's getting some light.
Regrowth here.
Okay.
Mab the Mad. Just to have something to play out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just trying to get the check here and then kill the Faust via the Flaxseed. Like that would be perhaps your only condition at this point. If you can't kill the Fandangle, again, DAV making Fandangle 5 power is just such an issue. Like, it's so much stronger.
Yeah.
We've got a Reap, but that's not going to get you there. We are dealing with Gaza Creed, though, which is a deck with multiple key cheats, and the Heist Knight goes off to steal 2 Amber, which is absolutely deadly if you're trying to cheat your last key.
And also captures onto Mutant Cut Purse, driving the key cost up even higher with the Faust.
Sure.
Oh, Jay Philippeg in chat had said, did George draw the Heist Knight? He's like, there you go.
Yes, he.
Yes, why, yes, he did.
Okay, got a little bit of board control there with the skirmish from Trimble.
Check at 8. I mean, we're dealing with a cheat a key or lose kind of situation, I would imagine.
Yeah. Zaramis still has the potential to do the trick sample play if he's drawn the combo.
Sure.
And a 5 power creature.
Wouldn't be the worst thing. Oh, the Quintrino. Stealth mode. But we've got no out to check at 8 in Starlines, yeah. And good game.
Good game. George is able to flip the tide, and that means that both people so far that have played this week have revenged themselves from their earlier season loss. They've won when it counted. So that's awesome. I'm going to let you guys speak a little bit on the close-up of this game. I'm going to see if the guys want to get in and chat. I'm pretty sure that they will.
Sure. Yeah. So how did you feel about the kind of differences in bans coming from Simon?
Matchup is just that you don't have any mutants, and it gave me no benefit whatsoever.
We're gonna bring you in live to this chat here. Let me get the girls to come on over as they're up there. They don't know that we switched over. But great games, and I gotta message them. This is so difficult without a third monitor.
Man. A tribute there at the end would have done it all.
All right, they're at a table, so let's move over to the table. I switched over to them, and
okay.
So move over to the table, and we'll all talk. And as I go back looking, all right, here we go.
Guys.
Oh yeah, they were
except
so
the first one. The first one was not an amazing.
Oh yeah, that just kind of went like that.
Yeah. I must admit, I apologized as soon as we saw the opening hands.
Oh, it's top deck lethal. It's insane.
But this was a good game. The first game we both were like, yeah, okay, let's go on to the next one. 9 discs right away.
That's great.
It was brutal.
That was reminiscent of the match I saw with Fierza where he got like dropped on by I think it was. I think it might have been No, I think it was Dammit. Maybe it was probably Dammit.
Yeah.
But
don't ramble now, Jupiter.
No, it was Dammit. Like Dammit played like 3 sins on like his first turn, like in a bunch of other this stuff. It was the same kind of headache.
I mean, I think I actually mentioned the Zaramis immediately. It was just like, I'm glad this is on TCO, so I can't look like I've stacked the deck with this. It was just 9 discards straight off the top.
Right. Yeah. The other very fortunate hit was the punctuated that took out the Anthony and the Axiom at the same time. That was an absolutely discard.
Yeah, I mean, must admit I was disappointed not to get any of his obviously his Tribute 6 Emperor Imperial
In this
Forge
game,
combo,
yeah.
but to see those, in that game, but to see those go in the first game, it's like all the board control, the Anthony, it was just so big.
And
Mhm.
yet I won somehow with a.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
incredible.
Zaramis
That
made the
game
perfect call
was-
at the end of the game, going, "Well, if you drew Heist Knight, then I lose, but if you don't have it, I win." And like he put you in his spot, and that's exactly how that's gotta go. So
Yeah, annoyingly, I could have also had spoils as well, and I
Right.
think it would have
Yeah.
saved me. But both spoils was pretty much I think the next card down, so I drew it off the first mutant I played. It's like, well, I can't play this now because I didn't have any mutants in the in Saurian even, so at that time, so I couldn't play it.
Do you have any structure to this post game stuff that we're
yeah,
doing?
yeah. Usually we ask why you guys chose the bands that you chose.
Yeah, sure, we're just rambling at the moment, so feel free.
No,
I can tell you why mine. Since last time we faced each other, I've seen the decks played, but also I know that Gaza Creed has a pretty decent matchup against the Worlds Collide deck because of the 2 key cheats, but my car keys has a very, very bad matchup, and I know it's car keys that needs to win. Now, car keys won and Gaza Creed lost here at the end, but Gaza Creed can win against basically anything. So I was trying to just get as good matchup for car keys as possible, because with the Kota deck, since it's 0 speed, it can always draw into 2/2/2s and have like this slow kind of game. Now that of course didn't happen, but car keys can be super explosive and 0 speed Kota can always be slow. So
Mhm.
that was my gamble with the ban.
how about you, George?
Sure.
Mine was an easy ban as well. I mean, Quinn was. I mean, it's not going to go well against Tenebris. It loves to raise the key cost. Obviously, doesn't mean anything. Obviously, you can't forge a key from the Martian Generosity with there's no key abduction. But he's just going to get into an endless cycle of playing all of his Mars and doorstepping me into oblivion. And I'd never win anything against that with Tenebris. So that was a nice easy ban. And also for against Turbo Smack, it's the only one with artifact control. There's always a chance I just go first and play a Dav, and it just pops off. And once he's Martian Generosity, he's probably going to destroy them all. The Dav. So yeah, it just seemed like a pretty easy ban for me.
Yeah, I think we were not shocked about the Quinn ban, but I think I think the ladies each picked one of the other decks for you, Zaramis. So
Yes.
you did shock them.
I thought that the MM would get banned. She thought the Coda would get banned.
The MM I have good matchups against. Like I know the car keys can win against it, and I know Gaza Creed can win against it. And I mean, if that punctuated hadn't come up here, I had the perfect hand for it with the Morpheus into double gray, double frame, and then all my key sheets left in the deck. So
Can you maybe talk about like your kind of one of the things I was speculating on why I thought that you might ban the MM is you really like to control your hands and the situations of your hands. And I was thinking maybe the punctuated would be kind of an issue. So like how do you think about that psychologically as a player that tries to prepare your moves several moves ahead? You know? Like what are you thinking about?
with Gaza Creed, I usually don't shape the hand so much because it has so much archiving. Now George got all the removal he needed early on before and then punctuated away the gray, but normally it's the archive that is like the big thing in this deck. So
Sure.
a punctuated doesn't matter that much for Gaza Creed. And in car keys, everything in car keys sort of does the same thing. And if those 6 cards go away, then maybe I rush a little more or then I do something else. But the deck does one thing, and it doesn't really matter if I do it with these 6 cards or those 6 cards.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, it was interesting. I have nothing else really for you guys other than to say congratulations, George, on securing your spot for season 3. Zaramis, I know I'll see you again. Zaramis has the distinct privilege of being the newest player that I know with the highest skill cap that I know. So
That's a very nice compliment. And you know what? I get to open Dark Tidings now.
Nice.
Yay!
I can't wait.
I'd have easily been bribed with Dark Tidings for the win. To be honest, you could have easily bribed me with that.
Yeah, I think we're all ready for Dark Tidings. I actually ordered a box from China to see if it gets here before my 6 boxes that I ordered in the States. So one way or the other, one way or the other, I'll be streaming Dark Tidings at some point. Because I'm getting ready to go like on a 6-hour stream schedule next week because Harlan goes back to school full time, thank God. And so I'll be able to dedicate more time to my practice and stuff. And I'm going to be giving away tons and tons of decks. So if you're interested in free decks, you see the
And
pile.
I am.
You see the piles I have back here. Those are all going to be gifted out in some way or another. We'll be
I
playing
think you
games.
can get a cream for that, Jupiter.
Hmm?
Never
Do what?
mind.
I didn't hear what you said.
It was a very immature joke, and I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
I will inform you. She's not sorry.
I probably would.
Before I head out, I just want to say thanks a lot to George, who was super nice and was really nice playing over voice. I prefer it a lot to just sitting there quiet and with the text alone. And the KFPL has been nice. I went into KFPL expecting to lose 4 games in a row and then leave because I was too depressed. So it's been great with all the support you and Z has given me, and Karen for lending me decks and supporting me as well and bringing me into Team Spindle. So
yeah, I was actually.
it's been.
I was actually very excited for the growth of you and Armataka. So I think it was a good experience all around for both of you, and to just get into the competitive levels. And I expect both of you to be back. You both are very wonderful players, and I think you just have to get through the stigma of it. Everybody here is pretty fun to play with, but everybody here is really cutthroat good. So it's meant to be that way. But I think that the challenges should be at least fun, and you should learn every game. If you learn something, I feel like you're winning, right?
And I mean, this spot, we both concluded, me and George, we were basically fighting about the honor of losing to Shaka in the next round. So
Shaka is definitely on a tear, and his triad is nasty. So he's gonna be.
Yeah, I wish I had Helena against it. That would have been better if I had advanced.
But no, yeah, thanks for being a great opponent as well. Before you do shoot off, I mean, we've had 2 great matches, so.
And this was the first time in any tournament that you beat me, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I finally got revenge against my nemesis. So it's.
That every time we face off, it's like I have always walked away with a win. So this was nice.
That's what I like to hear. Like I said, the first match, Rodion avenged his loss to Aviator. George has avenged his loss to Zaramis. What does that say for the rest of the group? I don't know, but man, it's a fun trend, right? Like it shows how close the divisions really were.
Definitely.
So yeah.
And Karen, are you ready? You know
what? Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready. Good. I'm here.
We will be opening some Dark Tidings, so
awesome. Are you guys going to be streaming it?
We are not in the same place, so
we are not.
but I know you have stream capabilities, so at least one of you does. But maybe not. But either way, if you have
live vicariously through your Dark Tidings.
I want to live
for another 24 hours. Come on.
Give me the fix.
Straight into my veins.
I'm not even.
My first deck was actually pretty good. Like I opened a good Saurian house in Dark Tidings.
No, now you're lying.
I don't know. It has City State Interest, which is in the Dark Tidings card, so that's good.
Did you get Berry Riches?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, maybe it is good. Okay, I'm starting to believe.
It has Berry Riches, it has City State Interest, it has the dinosaur that allows me to forge with all my captured ember.
Yep. That is the Saurian house that is good.
And it has a Faust, and it has 2 of the artifacts that move ember as well from my creatures to the opponent.
Nice.
So you've got the one good Saurian deck that exists, right, in Dark Tidings, so the rest of them just throw them away.
Now you can sell it for more displays. No.
But I was so prepared for seeing it just be crap, and then it's like, wait, this is a good Saurian house.
Yeah, you can never sell anything out. Like, I do have a good Brobnar Worlds Collide deck. It's pretty fun.
I have a high SAS Brobnar deck, but it's not good.
Mine is more good because it has 4 Edis and a lateral shift in Brabner. So
Okay, so
it kind of cheats, but it's actually pretty fun and it's really good. It has 2 Smiths
Well,
and a lot of like bodies, so
okay.
it's pretty good. But anyway,
Karen,
no-
do you hear this?
Oh boy! All right. Well, I guess
Alright,
that
we're
is
out.
my that's my cue to hop off the stream.
This is
All right,
just
great.
teasing the rest of us.
all right. Well,
I want to thank Jupiter for having us on, though. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
No,
I was about to say, well, my name is Karen, and I'm going to pitch my leaderboard in my final swindle tournaments because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I
do
mean,
it, Karen.
since
So-
I already said it, I guess that it's been said. No, yeah, no, for sure. So you can check us out at The Final Swindle. You can go to thefinalswindle.com. You can also contact me on Discord in order to get entrance into the group. So we've got 2 things going on. As always, we've got bi-weekly tournaments on Sundays with varying formats. Usually something to either mirror a competitive format or try something new. And then we have the leaderboard, which is every SAS number has a specific leader and you can challenge on that board. We've also opened up different formats, so you can try reversal on there and adaptive, which has been really exciting.
Yeah, the
And we're also
leaderboard's so fun.
I'll drop a little excitement for the future. Is there are plans that have begun to emerge for the big one part 2. So
Awesome.
that will be going down at some point in the near future.
we will, of course, be match fixing again, so I can get more money to buy Dark Tidings when I win it.
Right.
Well, at least you're upfront about it.
Makes it all
As I
better.
say, I'm a harsh and unfair player.
That's fair. Karen was telling us stories about you and your poker mentality of Keyforge, like where you're like
Yeah.
talking people down their cards and getting good tells and reads off of them. Can only imagine.
Yeah,
you're
I
even
was
scarier
I
in
was
person.
telling George that in this game. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
okay, these are the 4 cards you have left.
This is what you've got in your hand. This is what you're going to play, and this is why I played it this way. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for that. My next turn sorted.
Mm. This is
I told you he was doing it. He was just sitting there telling you what your hand is the whole, game.
When I killed the one untamed creature, I was like, okay, wait, you have these 4 exactly, and if you have to play untamed basically, and then you can't kill my my creature there. All right, that's a
Didn't
good
see
play.
that punk coming though, did you? So it's all good.
Oh.
you got
To be fair,
punked.
neither did I. So
You heard it here. The UK guy telling this guy that you got punked. Bringing back a whole new genre, whole new genre of music. Boom! Yes, bring it back, Ramones. Let's do it.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
one Trimble, the one Trimble,
that was the difference.
the one mutant in that.
Gotta
4
love that card now.
hand.
That normally terrible mutant was the best card ever.
Yeah.
Well, apart from Mutant Cutpurse, obviously.
Is
Yeah.
Trimble named after the first vault winner?
There's speculation.
Or is it just a random?
But it never got confirmed.
There's speculation.
Oh.
But she kind of lurks around. So like she's not. It's like she played in they talked her back into playing in the Archon Corner tournament where everybody was playing their decks and stuff. So like I don't know, like hopefully at some point she reemerges because she was a pretty good player. But at the same time, like life is life, and sometimes you got to move on from something. And I'm announcing that I'm retiring from. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, now
Rachel
it's Dark
came
Tidings.
to, Rachel
Cheers.
came to my chain bound a few times at my local, and she was lovely. So it would be nice to have her back. Just before you close off, real quick, I'm just going to do a shout out for my boy Seb. He
Yes.
is running casual loop events. There's a full-week league, and there are monthly tournaments with various caps and shenanigans. So
Is it causal loop or casual loop?
the event is casual loop.
Okay, he actually made it casual loop. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
No. That's what the card says. Casual. That's what it's always.
Totally, yeah, obviously.
Mandela effect.
Hmm.
So yeah, he's put info on it on the official the main Facebook group and on Twitter, so you can find that around.
All right, super. Thanks so much for everything, and take care.
All right. So before we go though, I'm just gonna put this up here.
I'm going now.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Sam.
You guys take it easy. We'll go and we're gonna go on now. But yeah, make sure you check out all the events. All the Keyforge events are important. So for all the people that are getting shouts out, all the different Twitch channels, make sure you're subbing, following, and supporting what they can do, because the more the content gets views and stuff, the more chances that we can find new players. And lately we've been finding a lot of new players, and that's kind of awesome since we're not back to actual full swing yet, because that's when it can really take off. But like gaining people while we're in this internet stasis of Keyforge is huge, and maintaining people is big too. So we'll see what happens, and we will have. So I have definitely not photoshopped images in my posters. That's fair. That's fair. But hey, you only got to change so much to make it yours. That's what Raphael learned when he was a master painter. So, anyway, with that said, support your local keyforgers and stuff. Check out the Final Swindle. Check out the Casual Loop, even though it says causal. And we will.
Lies and slander.
But either way.
Catering.
But either way, we're having fun. We'll see you guys soon. The next event is going to be on Justice Blinded's channel, Twitch channel. So make sure you're following him for when that goes live. I believe that starts tomorrow. I have to take a peek. Let's do this so that way I can let you guys know the truth without being wrong. I hate being wrong. I blame Muffins because she's the one that made me start thinking about things.
Hey.
Made me start thinking about things.
Right, I'm an idiot. Just let me be. Just let me be an idiot. Just let me be an idiot. It's more fun.
I'm so sorry.
Just kidding. No, it starts at 6:30 p.m. tonight on Twitch TV. Justice Blinded, one word. So
6 EST.
Yep, 6:30 p.m. EST, which I don't know the thing. So, but it happens soon. It will happen in 3-ish hours. It's about 4 o'clock here, so like it would be about 2.5 hours from now. They'll probably kick off at 6 or 6:10 to do their analysis and stuff like that. So make sure you're checking them out and check that out. It looks like a doubleheader. We're gonna have David Cordero versus Ugluk, and we'll see if Ugluk can turn the tides on Dave like everybody else has, and Unarmed Goat versus Grant. So Grant is looking to turn the tides on Unarmed Goat. So will we see a trend? Will we see it continue, or will we see a changing of the guards back to the people that have won winning? I don't know, but I'm hyped to watch it. So I will be there. I'll be there with bells on until I got to take my fiance to work, and then I'll probably just put it on my phone and watch it in the car as I drive, because that's healthy. I can listen to it at least. So anyway, cheers. We've talked enough. I'll talk to you later. Catch you guys on the
Thanks for having us on.